別れは突然訪れるものだから。
我が剣は守るべき者のために。一番やり覚悟遅い。横一文字。
今ね、行くわよ。私の見てみたい月夜の闇。闇夜の帳、災いを払え。バルキリーアナトミア。いつか会えたらまたお話ししましょう。
Hey guys, it's ScherBR and welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be giving a look on Olberic. This character comes from the Octopath Traveler crossover, and he's very good, but there's a lot of things to talk about this character because he's kind of a mixed bag on a lot of things. He's not a specialist, but he's very good on the things he does. And he's a sword fighter of the Holy Element. He has very high status to boot. He has 5000 HP and 1.7k physical attack and 1.2 physical defense. He also comes with the F activate if you get his orb, and it's 1.5 attack and mag and 750 defense and mag defense. So now let's just give a look on her multiplicators so you can see his normal attacks. So while talking about his normal attacks, he has 3 attacks. Only the third one is Holy, so he really needs a Holy weapon to perform well. And the 3 attacks are very standard. He attacks enemy on the ground, but the kind of the range is not that wide, so you have to face enemies on the ground, or you can use him to juggle people around. And well, the second and the third hit has the same multiplier on 4.0, and it's easy to get more by just they are the best attacks. So getting through the 50 attack is the best possible outcome. You don't really need to get to 6. And well, his purified attack is very standard for the time he was released. It's 9 times his attack, and the total of his normal attack is 11, counting the 3 attacks. But well, this character here is a little of a mixed bag, like I said, but he's focusing on defensive stuff, but also offensive stuff, so the offensive part is not compromised because of the defensive part. His damage with normal attacks is very standard for the time he was released. He didn't get any penalty here. But this is important to talk because we have to look on his passives right now. And while looking on his passives, let me just get it here. He's a character, like I said, very mixed stuff. He has an incant skill. He's a character that came with an incant skill on release, and he can get holy action skill damage increase for 1 turn by 10%. It gets more if you increase it with scrolls, but well, also his best skill is boost because it greatly increases attack and damage dealt by holy attacks. But is it the best one? Because this guy has a lot of things coming from. You can see that it 30% increase at max for attack and holy damage, but you also get a lot by the orb skill. The orb skill gets 46% on attack and 32% for holy damage. So the two together are kind of half the potential damage this guy has. So you kind of need the orb skill so if you want him to do good damage in the game. And everything stops here. The first part of the character stops on the orb skill and the first skill you have on the passives. The second one is called tank, and it starts moving into the defensive stuff. Well, this skill you can get up to 10% guard healing and reduced damage. So he will get 10% of your total HP healed when he guards. It's just like Klaus and L, but he's good because he also draws more enemy attacks. That's about his third skill called Jalk Sword Fighter. He can get 15% more aggro in attack and defense on the same skill. It's very good because attack, defense, and aggro is a lot of stuff. Well, I said that he stopped it there with offensive stuff, but it still gets more attack here. It will get more even than on the skill called Charge. Charge will increase his attack by 10% for 3 turns, and the cooldown is 6. So you have this up for half of the time. You start 3 turns, then you won't have it for more 3, and then you have again for other 3. But I don't know if the fight will keep going on for so long. But actually you'll be using this guy on long fights, especially on long fights, because he's, like I said, he's kind of defensive. He can act like a tank. But can he really? No, the problem with this character is that he don't have access to swords like Svalin, because he uses small swords. Svalin is a great sword. Svalin has 44% of guard, and swords only have 20 or 25%. The Sword of the King's bundle with this banner only has 20% guard chances. The Olberic swords. But well, you can just use other swords. We will get more holy swords as well, but it still won't get too high guard chances. You have to use the part skill Clever to try to compensate it, but it won't be the same as using Klaus with Svalin, because Klaus can be beaten on this stuff yet by this character, but Klaus does terrible damage. At least Olberic will do damage, very high damage, comparable to other damage dealers in the game, not Arbiter Hurst or Eventide Hakuri, I say, but he can do damage just like Primrose. He just doesn't affect it by having tank or defensive skills. His damage output is still very nice. So this guy can replace Klaus, he can replace Arngrim. Arngrim just has so absurd levels of defense, he can get that much as Arngrim can. So he will still take damage from nukes from bosses. But he will occasionally healing when guarding, so this is his best thing. But what can I say? Just use this guy when the content doesn't ask for competent or fully defensive tank, just like Arngrim or Klaus. Or just when you need 2 tanks, you can also use him alongside Klaus or Arngrim. You won't lose much because he can still do damage. Klaus can. Or when the content is weak to Holy, so he can also try to compensate the damage by still giving some healing here and there. Okay, so this is the information about this, the part of the skill of this guy. And he's a party assist type of character. He won't give you character. Weapon is good. His party skill is called Integrity. Is not worth to increase, but you have to increase this guy because he gets more defensive with levels, and it's worth. But don't try to use Integrity. It's not worth. And about the orbs, well, he kind of gets the best orbs that he could get. Purple gets access to more guard. True guard skill comes from purple. Yellow can drain soul. Drain soul is very good. This guy can also heal by doing normal attacks. This kind of compensates a little. Drain soul is the best orb skill that you can get. So if he can sometimes healing by doing damage, he can do good damage. The healing will be good. And then he has red, and red exactly comes from his unique orb. You really don't need to increase it further, but if you had to, you still had access to +1, and +1 is good. So that's it, guys. I think that most important thing here is that this guy can use all of his skills. Everything is useful here. It's everything trying to be a mixed thing, damage and defensive. And that's why I say that his role is as a tank, as a draw aggro character, holy damage and heal guard. His maximum damage potential is 153. It's very high for a character of his level, especially because he's also defensive. And you can also get 10% more from his limited skill, and also more with the holy action skill if you use the Encan skill. Well, this guy is very good. I think he's better than Primrose because he will stack more and be more useful for a little time. But Primrose can be better if you have a lot of dark characters. Just like Arbiter Hurst, Hippo, Wildfred, they are very good characters, they belong to the dark element. She will just make them even better. And while Olberic is just trying to be something that won't stay for too long. If you really need a tank, you use other character. If you really need potential damage, you use other character. But if you have a space on your squad for something that tries to be a little of everything, he may be useful for you. Well, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching this video so far. Please subscribe if you haven't, and we see each other on the next one. Bye!